Is it the coalition of the willing or a coalition of the useless? A parade of European leaders tripping over their own sanctimonious rhetoric? Well, that's what I think. We're tearing into the breaking news around the peace summit with Vladimir Putin and Trump, and of course, Donald Trump's meeting with European leaders. Well, it's a story, in my opinion, of one man's resolve against a backdrop of bumbling bureaucrats and a dictator, all vying for his attention. I'm Alex Armstrong and this is GB News Originals. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get all of the latest. On August 15th, 2025, Donald Trump met Russian President Vladimir Putin in Anchorage, Alaska, for a no-nonsense summit on finally ending the war in Ukraine. Well, no ceasefire was agreed, and Trump, in my opinion, saw through that pipe dream, recognizing that it was off the table when dealing with Moscow's hardline stance. And there's many reasons why a ceasefire should be off the table here, but that's for a whole nother video. Instead, Trump's driving towards a trilateral summit with Putin and Zelenskyy, potentially within weeks, focusing on real security guarantees and a lasting peace deal. That, to me, is leadership. It's pragmatic, direct and unapologetic. Let's compare that to our European leaders who met Zelenskyy in Washington on the 18th of August. Macron, Merz, Meloni, Starmer, Stubb, von der Leyen and Rutte. They're all bleating about a ceasefire, as if Putin and Trump haven't already dismissed it. Trump even paused the meeting to call Putin, pushing for a direct Zelenskyy-Putin meetup. Well, what's the result of some direct action, not bleating? Well, it's a productive step towards peace, with markets even reacting to this. Oil prices are down 2.3%, and guess what? European shares are up. Donald Trump seems to be doing more for the European stock markets than the European leaders themselves. But let's get to the point. European leaders are a masterclass in irrelevance. Macron's out there demanding firm security guarantees and sanctions, oblivious to the Trump signal that sanctions aren't the answer to long-term peace. Merz waffled on about Ukraine not ceding territory like it's Florida. Profound. But where was Germany's plan when the war raged on? Meloni just seems to be happy to be in the room, while Starmer and von der Leyen parrot unity without a shred of influence. In fact, if you looked at some of the pictures of them, von der Leyen and Starmer are right at the bottom of the line. Even Downing Street was too embarrassed to share it. Well, they all showed up at Zelensky's invite, supposedly, not Trump's, seemingly desperate to stay relevant. In my opinion, it's pathetic. They're treated like junior staff in a briefing, all sitting around the president's desk, nodding along because they've got nothing else to do or to say. It's not like there's an illegal migration crisis happening across the European continent, is there?
If you're a US resident, let's face it, things feel uncertain right now. America's national debt, over $36 trillion and climbing. Inflation, still eating away at your savings. And the dollar, down nearly 8% this year, with more countries walking away from it. Meanwhile, the markets, one day they're up, the next day, trillions gone in a blink. So it's no surprise people are asking, where can I actually put my money and sleep at night? That's why more investors are turning to gold and silver. Gold's up over 24% this year, smashing records and soaring past $3,300 an ounce. And some analysts say we could see $6,000 gold before the end of Trump's term. And silver, it's heating up fast, driven by demand in tech, solar and defence. Some analysts say it could double in value this year. If you've been thinking about moving part of your IRA or 401k into gold or silver, tax and penalty free, our friends at Priority Gold make it simple. They're endorsed by Rich Dad's Robert Kiyosaki, ranked #1 by Forbes and Financial Services Review, and trusted by thousands of everyday Americans. Right now, GB News viewers can get a free wealth preservation guide from Priority Gold. It shows you exactly how to add real gold and silver to your IRA or 401k tax and penalty free. Step-by-step plain English, no pressure, just smart information you can act on. Just scan the QR code, click the link in the description below, or if you're a US resident, text WEALTH to 24999. That's WEALTH to 24999 and claim your free guide today. The price of gold can go down as well as up. Past performance does not indicate future performance. Only invest what you can afford.
Europe's poured billions into Ukraine, tanking their own economies. They achieved zero progress until Trump took the reins. In fact, while Biden was around, they were very happy to sit around and carry on plowing billions into a war nobody's winning. Trump's coalition of the willing is supposedly about results. Robust security guarantees coordinated by Washington, with military presence monitoring it to back it all up. He sees Putin's openness to a deal, unlike the EU's endless moralizing. The left-wing media is in meltdown, calling Trump's efforts optics or capitulation. Well, it's nonsense, isn't it? They loved Biden's blank checks to Ukraine, but now Trump's stopping the war. They're whining. What does that tell you about our stuffy media elite? Even J.D. Vance is sidelining at the meeting, stuck at the back. Doesn't matter when Trump's running the show, does it? Now, Putin's ready for talks. Zelensky's on board and Europe's just tagging along, pretending they matter. Some will say there's a show of unity, and of course we want to see a show of unity, but does it really need every European leader to fly out to Washington just so they can get a photo opportunity with the president and Zelensky? I don't think so. What was the broader impact? Trump's moves are stabilizing markets. Brent crude is down, boosting the global economy. His tariffs are shifting China's focus to the global south, while Intel's $2 billion SoftBank deal and $450 billion AI lending boom show America's economic strength. Bitcoin's at 115K, riding the wave of reduced war risks. Europe, stagnant, stuck in bureaucratic meetings about nonsense, while Trump is actually delivering. Well, the coalition of the willing, it seems to me, is three people: Trump, Putin, and Zelensky. They are cutting through the noise. The useless, well, they're shouting into the void about ceasefires and sanctions, offering nothing but hot air. Trump is driving for peace, and Europe is just along for the ride, nodding their heads at the next line from their American president. So what happens next? Well, Trump's security guarantees are the backbone of this deal. Think NATO-level commitments, US-led military presence, and ironclad monitoring to keep both sides honest. Unlike our European leaders' vague promises, these are tangible. We're talking about air defenses, troop deployments potentially, and a framework that doesn't let Putin or Zelensky squirm out. The trilateral summit is, of course, the next big step, likely in a neutral place, we suspect, where Trump will broker a deal that I hope, and I hope many of you at home do, a deal that sticks. While Europe's leaders keep pontificating, Trump's already drafting the future, a peace seemingly that's tough, realistic, and doesn't let the useless derail it with their pointless posturing and inability to make any decisions collectively. Look, at the end of the day, the most important thing here is we get a peace. And I'm no fan of Vladimir Putin, but I want to see him come to the table. And I think one of the key things that's happened here isn't the EU getting involved and European leaders, showing their feathers all around the place, but it's actually been Trump's hard-line economic stance by putting those tariffs on Indian oil coming from Russia. Well, lots more to come on this topic, I'm very sure of that. Thanks again for watching. I've been Alex Armstrong, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the GB News YouTube channel and download the GB News app from the App Store to keep up to date with all the latest on this very developing story.